I know this is what everybody came here to listen to, just putting that out there.
I think if you're here, this is what you are here to listen to. I'm sorry.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Off to Broadway, the podcast where we deep dive into anything and everything musical theater. I'm Tara.
I'm Stefania.
And in today's episode, we're talking about the Canadian edition of Kimberly Akimbo. This was just here in Toronto. When you're listening to this, it has since closed, and it recently had a run in Montreal. But if you are listening to us from the States, there is a tour that's going around, not this cast that we will be speaking about today, but it's on. The show is on tour until like May of this year. So there are opportunities to still see Kimberly Akimbo, and I believe it is going to the West End this year as well. From, our most reputable source, Wikipedia, says that London, November, they announced it in November 2025 that it will be playing at Hampstead Theatre from August 28th to November 7th, 2026. Oh my god, I was right about Vancouver. The Arts Club Theatre Company in Vancouver will present a regional production of Kimberly Akimbo that will run from April to May. So
okay, that's great.
Not the same. Yeah, because the Canadian productions now have their own little category on Wikipedia. So someone is actively updating. Congratulations.
I love
to
it. That's great.
Thank you for doing the work.
That's great.
I guess we should kind of start how we normally start these reviews. It's been like a minute since we've done a review on this
I know,
podcast.
It has been a bit of a minute.
What is your relationship, if any, to Kimberly Akimbo?
I mean, it's the same relationship I have to any Best Musical winning show that I haven't seen before. I knew of its existence. I knew, I guess, the general idea of the plot. I'd heard some songs over, the past few years since it won Best Musical. But I can't say I really ever, dove deep into Kimberly Akimbo before seeing it. Mm-hmm. But I had a passing familiarity with the storyline and the concept of Kimberly Akimbo. Right. What about you, Tara?
I saw this on Broadway I was just pulling up, April of 2023. This was a lottery win. This was actually a double lottery win. I won the lottery, and one of my brothers won the lottery, which meant that we had 4 seats well for their ticket sales. People. No. This was post... No, this wasn't... Was this post-Tonys? When did it win the Tony Award? I think it was pre-Tonys.
June 2023?
Yeah, so it was pre-Tony Awards, which obviously we'll get into, but they were like a Tony's darling that year. But we both won the lottery, which, 4 tickets for 3 people. We were either going to eat a seat or what we did, which I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but we did this. And I'm not saying that people should do this, but, do whatever you wish. But we did put that 4th seat on SeatGeek, and someone did buy it. We didn't put it for more than what we paid for the lottery seat. Yeah. So it was kind of sold as
you're trying to offload the ticket, basically.
Exactly.
Recoup some of your money, basically.
Yeah. And they were, if I remember correctly, 2 seats were second row, kind of side, and then the other seats were also, I believe, second row, but on further to the side. So they were kind of side lottery seats. Mm. I did see the original. Who sat by
themselves? Who sat alone?
Corey sat with the stranger that bought the ticket. It was actually so funny because we were already in the theater before the seat was sold. And then Tyler was like, oh, whatever, I'll just eat the $40 at this point. Divided by 3, it would have been fine. But then when it was bought, and then we were watching to see who sat beside Corey. Because we were we know that ticket is for that person, whoever that person is. But yeah, when I saw this back then, it was, that was basically, I guess, the Tony cutoff weekend was about the time that I saw that at the end of April. And I really liked it. My brothers really liked it. Kimberly played by Victoria Clark. We had Justin Cooley as Seth. The, kids were great. Bonnie Milligan played the aunt. Ali Mazzi was the mother. I don't remember who was the dad, but he was someone I had seen before in something else as well. And I don't have that playbill in front of me, but I'm sure I can find it. And yeah, it was just kind of a sweet musical. And then 2 months later, at the Tony Awards, it kind of cleaned up. It won Best Book of a Musical. It won Best Musical that year. It also was who else won here? Where's the Tonys?
Victoria Clark won.
Victoria
Bonnie
Clark
Milligan
won. It
won.
Best Bonnie Milligan. It won Best Original Score, and then it was also nominated for Direction and Featured Actor and Orchestrations. So it won 5 of the 8 Tony Awards that it was nominated for, which I want to say, like, in 2023, this, like, kind of very, I would say, small production, because there's not very many cast members. It was, like, a little bit surprising, I think, that this hit so hard with people. I don't know what else was in 2023 on Broadway.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it's that surprising to me, to be honest, but
Is it not? It feels like a small little musical, like, won the big award. You know what I mean?
yes, not necessarily, like, but I think sometimes, okay, it was nominated against And Juliet. Sorry, that was never winning. New York, New York. That was
Not
never going to
winning.
win. Shucked was not going to win. And Some Like It Hot, which we'll see soon. We haven't seen, but, you know, was that its biggest competition? I mean, the biggest hit from that list is obviously And Juliet, but I just don't think that was ever going to win. Like, of these 5, what is the most critic-friendly here?
Yeah, you're probably right that Some Like It Hot is, like, number 2 on that list there, I would say.
Yeah,
Although a lot of people like Shuck, but it's a musical comedy, and, like, it wasn't
it's a
the
bit
same
specific. Though
kind of-
you saw it, but we'll see it this season. Like, both
Yeah.
Shucked and Some Like It Hot. Actually, wow. And Juliet, Shucked, Some Like It Hot, and Kimberly Akimbo are all part of the Mirvish season.
And New York,
one
New
way or
York will
another this year.
never see the light of day
Sorry
again.
to New York, New York. But not to, like, have some synergy, but star of
Vanessa
And Juliet in
Sears.
Toronto, Vanessa Sears, was in New York, New York on Broadway. So
Yes.
here we go. But that's funny that this is very soon for 2023 list. But yeah, like, of that 5, I mean, maybe this is just with hindsight, but Kimberly Akimbo is almost the most critic-friendly show of them.
It's also, like, the team that worked on this, like, David Lindsay-Abaire and Janine Tesori are, like, mainstays. Janine, for sure, like, mainstay.
Both, yeah, like,
on Broadway. So it's like they came prepared with this show with, like, a good creative team, I would say, as well. And also, like, Victoria Clark is an icon. So there was, like, a lot going for this,
absolutely.
momentum-wise.
We spoke a lot about how it's a good indicator of success that a show starts off Broadway before moving to Broadway to win Best Musical, and that was the exact path for this show. Started off Broadway in 2021, and then the following year, 2022, moved to Broadway. So that's kind of the off-Broadway Broadway Best Musical pipeline.
Which I feel like there is a stat, I don't know it off the top of my head, but there is a stat on, like, the off-Broadway to Broadway winning Best Musical situation. It's a pretty good, like, statistic. A lot of the times, if there's something opens off Broadway, then it is sure to, you know, win the big award of the night. I actually was reading about the off-Broadway production this morning because apparently, like, a lot of the script was changed, which,
interesting.
like, song placement, I think, was shifted around for certain things. There was, like, songs that were cut completely.
I'd heard it was darker off-Broadway.
Yes, I've also heard the same. Like, maybe she, spoiler, literally, like, dies at the end, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I just think maybe, like, darker humor. I mean, if we, like, want to get into, I don't know if we're there yet, but yeah, maybe that's, like, my main criticism of the show. Like, are we going hard enough? Are we going deep enough?
It's time to drag David Lindsay-Abaire. Go for it.
No, it's not really a drag of David Lindsay-Abaire, but I they haven't even done a summary of the show.
You're right, we haven't. Maybe we should do that first and then we can drag him.
Okay, Tara, do you want to give us a summary of Kimberly
Yes,
Akimbo?
I don't know
I've
what,
seen it
like,
twice.
her disease is called, but this story takes place. Actually, I don't really know the, like, time period.
It's the 90s? It's the 90s?
It's the 90s, but also, like, is it a year? Is it a few months? Is it, like, 2 weeks? It's not, like, that clear, like, how much time is passing.
Maybe.
I want to say it's, like, about a few
months.
months. Yeah.
Yeah-ish.
So, it basically follows the story of Kimberly, who is a 16-year-old girl, but she has a disease, if you can find the name of the actual disease.
I'm looking.
where her body ages 4 to 5 times faster than everything else. Is that what that is? Like, facially, she looks like she's a woman in her 60s, but she's a 16-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is, like, the best way to say that. Anyway, so you're kind of seeing her home life. They live in New Jersey, and her parents are kind of these, like, insane caricatures, I would say. Her mother's currently pregnant. She has 2 broken arms, and she, like, makes video diaries for her unborn child.
She doesn't have broken arms. She had carpal tunnel surgery.
She had surgery. You're right. And then at one point she has a boot on because she maybe, like, broke her leg skating, but I don't know if it was broken.
Something happened.
But basically, like, Kimberly is writing to the Make-A-Wish Foundation that she wants to go to Disney World is her, like, main thing, but she also will, like, settle for other things. But Disney is, like,
Six
the main
Flags.
goal. And you kind of just, like, follow her and her family and her classmates on, I don't know, this, like, journey of a few months. We also have, like, side character of her Aunt Deborah, who's also an insane person, who is, like, planning to steal money from people. So there's a whole side plot about that. But yeah, like, it's just kind of like a dysfunctional family story at the end of the day, centered around a girl that is going to die. Like, with this disease, the average age that you live to is 16, and she's turning 16 in the show.
Yeah, I did. That's part of one of my notes is that the plot is sort of secondary in my mind. It's more of like a slice of life of these characters in this family life. You know, there are certain things they'll, like, throw out these dramatic moments, or they'll reveal these dramatic things, and then it's just kind of never addressed again. Or, like, something will happen. Actually, something will happen, and then you'll just be like, well, I guess that happened, and you'll just never follow up.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that part is taking secondary to, I think, their goal of the emotional journey of the characters. I don't know.
I will say that when I saw this on Broadway, the, like, video camera element is much more of a character, I would say, than it ever is here. There's a screen on stage at the beginning. Well, actually, the opening curtain is, like, a recording of a video screen. And then the screen is, like, used at the end, which I had to look up. Because remember when I was leaving, I was like, I feel like this ended differently. And it does, but it doesn't. We still, like, are in the car singing Great Adventure. But then you do see, like, everyone's kind of watching the screen on the back, and it's kind of solo spotlight on Kimberly, and you, like, see her get to Disney World type thing, and then blackout, same situation, which, like, I just skipped to the end, but we'll get there eventually. But other than that, I would say it's almost, like, pretty true to the Broadway production. The costumes looked very similar to me. This is also, sorry, we didn't say, this is playing off Mervish at the...
It's at the CAA
It was.
theater.
Sorry, it was playing off Mervish at the CAA theater.
And also it was a co-production, so this is a fully Canadian cast, similar to what they did with Titanic last season. Was they cast it, and then they started in Montreal at the Seagull Center, did about a month run there, and then traveled with the whole cast to Toronto, and they're doing about a month-ish run here in Toronto as well. So it's a way to split costs between, you know, 2 theaters, but also get to have a Canadian cast of this, like, very popular musical. People were wondering last year when the Mervish season was announced, where is Kimberly Akimbo? And David Mervish said, we're working on something, stay tuned. And this is kind of what they were working on. And I was excited to get this versus the tour, I think. I think this is a more exciting option for us.
Yeah, I also think, like, at this stage in our game here, it's exciting to see a Canadian cast. There's many people, like, well, 2 specifically people that we've seen many times in shows across Toronto when they come here.
3 of them.
Third.
Well, we got Lulu Pitt. We've got Tess
Kristen
Banger.
Pierce. Yeah, Peace.
Kristen Pierce.
Peace. But I also love that we had, like, a very young cast in these teens who were, like, stand out to me. But let's get back to the story before we get into the cast, because I feel like we have kind of a lot to say about the cast. what did you think of this musical?
What did I think of this musical? I, like, it's really hard to describe how I felt. It's not. But what I'm saying is, while I was there, I was having a nice time. I enjoyed myself. I thought, this is nice. I left, and I barely thought about it. I barely thought about this since I left. It had really no lasting impression on me. I did not feel the need to press play on the cast album, watch YouTube videos. I saw that was nice, and then I left. I don't really, and I think they are trying to like leave a lasting impression on you. Like the message of the show is, live your life to the fullest. I just don't.
No one gets a second time around.
No, you don't. Even, obviously with Kimberly, like this is very heavy-handed. I found it a bit heavy-handed, but this is like a very heavy-handed message with Kimberly. Like, she turns 16. The average life expectancy is 16. Like she doesn't have that much time, but it's also true for every other single person in the show. It's true for everyone. But, and I think they're really going hard on that. And yet I was kind of like, okay. And then I left. So again, there wasn't anything like wrong with it, but I just was kind of like meh on the whole thing.
Yeah, like I would agree on this production, but I will say when I left New York, like I thought about it, I listened to the cast recording, and I do think that has to do with casting. Because like I wanted to listen to these songs again because I loved the way that they were performed on Broadway. Don't get me wrong, like the kid that's playing Seth here, hang on, let me find your name. He is giving his best Justin Cooley because the way that they speak is like the exact same. Like that character, I guess, is supposed to sound exactly like that.
We were getting a lot of teen acting in this show, not to its detriment, but remember when like the prom musical, like they're doing like teen voices on that show? Yes. I feel like everyone was doing what I would call a teen musical voice in this show. I love it. It amused me.
His name is Thomas Winokur. Unfamiliar because I literally think he's 18 years old. Is he the one that has in his bio that he's graduating in 2030?
Graduate of Etobicoke School of the Arts, enrolls at Carnegie Mellon University for a BFA in musical theater, class of 2030, which is 4 years
18.
from now.
He's 18. He's really good to me. I actually think he's like very good. And to me, like, and this is how we felt when we first saw it. The kids are so good in this. Yeah. Like the casting of these teens. All 5 of them highlight. Like the icon Martin to me, like that guy was so good. Kyle Jonathan, so good. We also have Jake Cohen here who played Aaron. Luca McPhee, they played Delia, and then Taylor Lovelace who played Teresa. Like all 4 of them, plus Seth, were so good. Like such good casting. Great voices. They kind of play like a Greek chorus like at one point. I just thought like they were the highlight to me, and I feel like
I agree 100%.
You had said that like they're in a different show than the rest of the characters.
100%. It did feel like 2 different shows when we're hanging out with the teens. You're living one life, and then you go to Kimberly's home, and it's just like such a different energy that you're getting, and they very rarely intersect. Even when the teens like are in Kimberly's home, like they're in the basement with the aunt. Like they're very rarely interact with the parents. They felt like a little bit too disjointed shows.
Yeah, like we start off the top of this with like Skater Planet, which we did have the fake ice in Toronto as well.
They were skating.
They were skating, which is actually like so funny to me because there was one scene when I swear maybe it's the opening scene. We skate like 2 or 3 times in this show, and
it's all in Act 1, no skating Act 2.
No, but there's like a moment when like they put on the skates for maybe 10 seconds and then just like get off stage.
Go by. I know, and I was thinking about, okay, so obviously Act 1 ends, they're at the skate park, at like the skating rink, and Louise Petrie does not put on the skates. She just stands stationary.
But I feel like Victoria Clark did put on the skates.
So in the opening, Louise Petrie had the skates on, but I think she was already sitting.
No, she was holding them. She wasn't wearing them.
Yeah. I don't know if she was like unlacing them, basically. She was like she was finishing up her skate. So they like implied that she had been skating. So I thought she had them on. Like it was a clever trick, I guess, to make you think she's been skating. But then in the finale, it's just like, we cannot put Louise Petrie in these
Also, what was the
Cannot do
deal that they got on these brown skates? Because I've never seen these before.
No, I know, but I liked them. I liked
them
the
too.
aesthetic.
They were nice.
They were nice. They were nice skates. I think they're meant to be like the rental skates, I guess. But
Yeah, because like Seth works at the skate park. He's like, he runs like the concession stand.
And like the skate rental.
He's just like, honestly, like the character, Seth Wheatus is like such a sweet boy. Like that's the only way that I'll describe him. He's just like a good boy, which he has a song called Good Kid. So like it makes sense. Like he's just like good. But yeah, like I felt differently when I saw this on Broadway, and like I know a lot of people kind of, I don't know. I feel like this show, although you're like kind of
it's a bit polarizing.
in between. I was gonna say, I feel like there's a lot of people that love it. There's a lot of people that hate it, but then there's like very few that are like in the middle. But like you're kind of like in the middle, I would say.
I'm kind of in the middle. Like I won't say it was bad, but I can't say like, I don't know, if we're looking at like best musical winners from the past 10 years, I think it's probably like in the middle to the bottom to me. Wow, should we do that? Should we rank that?
Yeah, do it. I'm curious because I don't even know.
I'll look at I'll
what
get
we've
to
had.
right now.
Again, when I saw this in 2023, I felt very differently about it. I was also like in the second row, so I feel like I was really getting a lot of that like emotion from the characters, and it just felt like something I hadn't seen like in a long time before. It just kind of felt like a nice like family story, even though it's like not a nice family story at all. Like we have some very like tragic twists and turns from her parents along the way. But I don't know, I also think, and this is kind of what all of the reviews say, but like we'll get into this after you give the Tony info here. This show relies so heavily on whether you feel or don't feel for Kimberly. And I will say on Broadway, like Victoria Clark really made me feel for her, but I don't feel that way about Louise Petrie's performance in this. But again, like I think we have kind of more to say on that, so I'll save that for when you give these.
I think we'll get there in 1 second when we'll read out some of the reviews. But here we go. Okay, now this plan that I've made 5 seconds ago, is this 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, it's only 9.
What's the 10th? This is an active work session that you're listening to right now.
Okay,
she just gave to herself.
I just put the last 10. Okay, so the problem is 2020 and 2021 are combined. So I had to go one extra year back.
It was Moulin Rouge.
It was Moulin Rouge. Okay, sorry. That I also think is in the bottom half. Sorry to them. Okay, but it's actually tricky because some I think are okay. The last 10 best musical winners. Maybe Happy Ending won in 2025. Okay, 2024 The Outsiders. 2023 Kimberly Akimbo. 2022 A Strange Loop. 2020/2021 Moulin Rouge. 2019 Hadestown. 2018 The Band's Visit. 2017 Dear Evan Hansen. 2016 Hamilton. 2015 Fun Home. This is hard. This is really hard, actually. This is a really difficult list to rank. So the most similar show to this in this list is actually Fun Home, which...
Oh, I was gonna say it's Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I think maybe. Maybe if you like, it's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Combine.
I think of those three, I think Fun Home
is like superior. Yeah.
I think like the top.
Fun Home is maybe in the top 3 to me.
Yes, I was gonna say Fun Home, Hamilton,
A Strange Loop.
Hadestown, Strange Loop. Is that the top 4?
Hadestown does not make your top 4.
No, maybe it would be 4. Maybe I would go like. Okay, I think A Strange Loop is like 3 to me.
And what about maybe Happy Ending though?
Oh, is that above Hadestown?
To you, I think it is.
Probably. Oh god, this is so
I actually
hard.
think it's way harder than you think. Dear Evan Hansen is at the bottom of this list, I think.
I know, okay. Okay.
Moulin Rouge and Dear Evan Hansen. And don't get me wrong, as heard previously on this podcast, 2 shows that I am a fan of, but those are at the bottom.
No. They're all good musicals. Like, these are best musical winners. I love how, like, we're just doing this right now. We're on a tangent. 1, 2, okay, 4.
I think it's important, though, because that's what I'm saying. Like, it almost
5.
felt like something I hadn't seen before, but it actually is something I've seen before in both Dear Evan Hansen and Fun Home. But like Fun
No, I
Home
know.
is
Okay.
astronomically better than both.
The show I'm putting like right at the bottom, even though I love it very much, is Moulin Rouge. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
Ben.
No, I agree.
9.
But also,
Dear
in a
Evan
real
Hansen?
year, it would have never won.
No, I know. Okay, what is 9? The Outsiders or Dear Evan Hansen?
I think with like years of distance, Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen. Okay. So now I have. Okay, Kimberly Akimbo or The Band's Visit.
I know this
What's
is what
better?
everybody came here to listen to. Just putting that out there.
I think if you're here, this is what you are here to listen to. I'm sorry. Kimberly Akimbo or The Band's Visit. What is better?
To me, or to the public, to me, Kimberly Akimbo is better than The Band's Visit, but I think the public would disagree heavily with that.
I think like when you think of like a standout, if I'm thinking of like a standout musical theater song, I'm probably going to The Band's Visit over Kimberly Akimbo.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
But, like,
also,
as, like,
but I
an
can make that
enjoyable
argument for
whole
Waving
piece.
Through a Window.
Yes, no, I know. Waving through a window. Yeah, but
And you will be found and disappear.
no one's saying the songs aren't good. This is really hard. This is
What's
it's,
up?
it's
What else
6
is
or
here?
7.
What else is here? Sorry, go again from the bottom. We're Moulin Rouge, bottom.
Okay.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Moulin Rouge, bottom. Okay, Dear Evan Hansen. Moulin Rouge, 10. Dear Evan Hansen, 9. 8, The Outsiders. Okay, so 6 or 7, The Band's Visit or Kimberly Akimbo.
Like, fine.
This is
Kimberly
where-
Akimbo, then The Band's Visit.
Kimberly Akimbo, 7, and then The Band's Visit, 6. Is
Yeah, I think so.
that what we're saying? Yeah, it's,
See, I actually
it's
like
hard.
The Band's Visit.
No, no one here hates The Band's Visit, unless you're my mother, but no one here hates The Band's Visit. But it's like...
I just think that
Okay.
show, we've talked about this previously, but specifically with The Band's Visit, like they literally say to you at the top of that show, like nothing happens in this show.
But you're unprepared. You're unprepared for how little's going to happen. Okay, here we go. From the bottom, again. Number 10, Moulin Rouge, a show this podcast does love.
Yeah.
On record.
It's coming back to
number
Toronto
9.
this year.
It is. Number 9, Dear Evan Hansen. Number 8, The Outsiders. Those could also switch maybe, but it's okay. Number
Yeah, it's
7,
okay.
Kimberly Akimbo. Number 6, The Band's Visit. Number 5, Hadestown. Number 4, maybe Happy Ending. But that's pretty recent. That's pretty high for that.
But
Number
it's good.
3, A Strange Loop. Number 2, Fun Home. Number
What's
1,
one?
Hamilton. Number 1, Hamilton. Hard
See,
to say. Hard to say.
I would put Fun
You
Home
put-
above Hamilton.
I just think the cultural impact of Hamilton.
Oh, 100%. But like in terms
it's really
of
hard.
like in terms of like storytelling, Fun Home is like a perfect musical.
I agree. I really think like it's almost like categories. Like
They're
okay, our
interchangeable.
top 2 are Hamilton and Fun Home, which were both 10 years ago. So
Crazy.
let's get this going. And our bottom.
Maybe Happy Ending is probably too high, but that's okay.
I know it's very recent bias, but like what made me sob the most?
Fun Home.
It's right up there. Yeah. Okay, that's our
So-
ranking there.
So
what
by
we
this
end up with
standard, it's
Kimberly
at the
Akimbo was,
bottom.
like, mid bottom basically. That's where we landed on with this for Kimberly Akimbo. Maybe we should like keep this list updated as like we add new ones.
No,
and, like,
it is
stuff drops
interesting.
out. Like
Yeah,
Fun
it
Home's
is
gonna drop
interesting.
out when we get a new one this year.
Is
'Cause
it?
it's the old. Well, because it's like if it's like the last 10 best musical winners, then
Oh,
the
true,
next
that's the-
year's list, Fun Home will not be included.
Oh, Fun Home was 10 years ago.
Yeah, Fun Home was 2015.
That's tragic because nothing this season will be Fun Home.
Oh my god. No. whatever wins this
Whatever it
season,
is,
like,
put that at number 10.
Right to 10. Right to 10.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, like honestly, looking at those lists, like it kind of perfectly fits itself in the last 10 years, I would say then.
Yeah. It falls into the category of, modern musical theater derogatory. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a style
Yeah.
that it fits right into. We have our teen characters who, again, I love, but it very much fits into this kind of modern musical theater style of singing. What sets it apart, I think, is that the songs are not, belted by an ingenue, but are written for a young character, but are sung by an older character. And that is, I think, a song by an older actress, and that is what I think is like the biggest difference between this and like other, you know, modern musical theater stuff.
Should we talk about the way that it was sung right now?
I guess. I think, like, is this where we delve into some reviews? We have the Toronto Star. We have the Globe and Mail. Those are the two kind of big publications in Toronto that we refer to.
Like, shout out to Glenn Sumi, because I did read literally yesterday or today on Reddit, but someone was like, can't wait for Joshua Chung to rip apart Kimberly Akimbo. And it was actually Glenn Sumi that did it this time. So
and it was Glenn Sumi. Glenn
Sumi came out hot right out of the gate with a crazy, the balloons are here, with a crazy opening statement for the Toronto Star. I actually think we need to publicly read this because it is a public article.
We've read a Glenn Sumi before, but go on. We love to read a Glenn Sumi review on this podcast.
No, but I feel like, you know, we read this to each other off the mic, but I think because it's public, we could read this on the mic.
For sure, absolutely.
Okay, so Glenn Sumi's Toronto Star article headline is "Mervish's Kimberly Akimbo is worth seeing despite a few flaws," which I think is kind of like exactly how you walked out of that show as well.
I agree.
But what I was not prepared for was the absolute takedown in the first two paragraphs. We're still in the middle of cold and flu season. How else to explain Louise Petrie's vocally underpowered performance in the demanding title role of Kimberly Akimbo at Sunday's opening night performance? To be clear, there was no pre-show illness announcement before the show began, and when I reached out to Mervish Productions, which is co-producing the production as part of its Off Mervish season with Montreal's Segal Center for Performing Arts, a rep told me Petrie was in good health and that she was singing the role the way it was written. That's crazy of you, Glenn Sumi. Like, I cannot believe. But also, like, you know what? Respect for picking up the phone.
He was like, there's no way this is what it was supposed to sound like.
Like,
this is a flaw built into the show, I think. It is crazy. But this is a flaw built into the show. I think, okay, if we go back to Aisling Murphy for the Globe and Mail.
But see, like, I disagree with that because Victoria Clark gave everything the night that I saw it.
Yeah, what Aisling Murphy says... And she says, Petrie struggles to navigate the vocal line. Her voice's wide vibrato making now feel long and a bit painful. It's an unfortunate side effect of a role that by definition is physically, emotionally, and vocally challenging for its actor. And like, yeah, look, obviously there's going to be superstars. And also Victoria Clark, this was kind of, if I'm not mistaken, like written around her vocal ability.
100%.
Right? So, of course, it's going to like fit really well in her voice.
This is the, like, 2024 Great Gatsby written for Jeremy Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, anybody that comes in after him is not Jeremy Jordan. Like, Reeve Carney, I'm looking at you specifically when you step into this in a couple months.
Yeah, and, you know, you're going to have to sing around basically something that was written tailored to someone else's, like, abilities. And it's tricky. It's really hard. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I land on it. I actually do think it was the song Now, the romantic ballad, where I mostly was like, oh. Like,
this is the duet, right?
Yes, with her and Seth.
I
do think, the most painful singing moment of the show. I don't think Louise Petrie was bad in this. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, her physicality was, like, so good in so many ways, but yeah, there were just some vocal moments where it was a tricky. But that's what happens when you cast a 70-year-old as a 16-year-old.
I also agree that she was not bad in this. I do think at some point she was like very heavily overacting to like be more childlike, which I think is also a criticism of the show in general, is that like it's very hard to believe, especially when
to
like
strike the balance.
Yeah, like she's singing with an 18-year-old boy. Like that is who her like love interest is in this musical. And I do think that there is a fine line between like, I don't know, believable and like caricature. And at some moments she felt like a caricature of a 16-year-old to me. But then, you know, then we also get songs like Our Disease, whatever that song's called. I love that scene. Our Disease.
That's so funny.
Disease. So cute. But like I thought she was really good in that. But yeah, anytime she's kind of just like singing with the younger kids, it's very obvious that they are fresh vocaled and she is maybe not.
Yeah, it's very stark. And, you know, part of that contrast is like the point of the show to emphasize, you know, she is their peer and yet at the same time not. And so like that contrast does like emphasize the idea that she is just, even though she's the same age, is just like her life is so different. And but yeah, like when you're going to see a musical where on top of like acting and performing, you also just like want to hear some good singing, it does like it jars the ear a little bit.
I will say, though, it did not jar the ear of the entire cast of & Juliet that was sitting 2 rows behind us.
They went nuts. And I love that.
I would highly recommend in future that Mirvish puts their openings on like a Sunday night or like a Monday when the cast of & Juliet is not performing, because wow, that audience was lit that night.
They were like a cheering section for the whole cast.
It was so sweet. Like
it was
anytime,
fun. It was really nice.
Anytime, because these are their peers, obviously, and many of those cast members were just in Great Comet with Louise Petrie. So like, or, you know, it's just like, she's been in the Canadian theater scene for so long. So many of these people that are in like & Juliet, as well as people that I'm sure are in Kimberly Akimbo, like they kind of look up to her. Like she is a staple. Yeah. That's like a career that you could only dream for, is to have a career like hers in this city, in this country. I would say, if you're like a performer in Toronto, I would be so curious to see Tracy Michaeladis do it, because she's
alternate.
Younger to me. Like she has
she
to be,
reads a bit younger, yes, for sure. And we've seen her in a few things.
Yeah, I think vocally she just has like a different voice for sure. Louise Petrie, again, like the woman is an icon. She's been in many things. It's just like interesting to see her, you know,
the original Donna in Mamma Mia.
Yeah, but I just think it's so interesting to like back to back, like the last thing we saw her in was Comet, where she's playing like an older character. She's playing this like almost royal regal kind of character versus, you know, playing a 16-year-old in a very modern musical with very modern musical theater songs. So it's just like two completely different sides to Louise Petrie, like 6 months apart from each other. And I personally prefer the Comet side to the Kimberly Akimbo side.
Yeah, she does bring like a gravitas that works so well in Comet. Like just she's there for 1 second and you immediately understand her character. There's a lot of different type of character work going into Kimberly Akimbo. I pulled up, I'm just reading it for the first time right now. I pulled up the Next Mag review, who gave it 5 out of 5.
Oh. Who's Next Mag?
I don't know. Who wrote this? Lori Ossip. I'm not familiar, but we're here. And let's read what they said about Louise, because they gave it 5 out of 5. It would be easy to overcompensate when portraying a teenage character, but 69-year-old living legend Petrie as her titular character is remarkably believable as a 16-year-old. She stays away from playing overly childish, letting Lindsay Abair's wonderful text and Louise Bourret's detailed costumes do the heavy lifting. Employing a naturalistic, casual manner of delivering text, Petrie sells her character's age, though there are moments where Petrie's robust, albeit iconic singing voice breaks the illusion. And times where Petrie's Kimberly could have used a little more warmth. Nevertheless, Petrie's overall effective as the show's lead, delivering an earnest, grounded performance of a complex role. I think everyone's going to highlight the voice sometimes pulls you out.
The vibrato can be heard from the streets of Toronto. That's how, that's how vibrato we're going on that. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think at the end of the day, that is unfortunately just like going to be, as you just said, like the review that follows her. It's kind of interesting because like I feel like this right now is kind of getting the same sort of treatment of when Dear Evan Hansen was in Toronto, when all of the reviews kind of came out and were like, maybe this musical wasn't what we thought it was back when it came out, storyline wise.
The reviews are like, if we're just talking about like the Star and the Globe and Mail, they're kind of like, there's a lot of flaws to this, but still worth checking out at least. Whereas I think the timbre around Dear Evan Hansen was like, what's happening here?
Everyone hated it.
What's going on here?
They're like, this story is about a liar. We can't get behind this.
Okay, look, let's actually, like, let's bring that into my issues with this show, okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so they commit check fraud in Act 2, and then what? And then nothing.
Well, she
No
steals the money and they go on
whatsoever.
vacation.
Okay, so we commit check fraud, and then there's, like, no resolution to that whatsoever.
Don't
okay?
forget, we
Fine.
also killed a man.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going next, okay? We find out, he had, like, a heart attack or something, but we find out that the sister, we find out that Kimberly's mother, played by Tess Benger, like, had an affair with the neighbor to purposefully get pregnant so that to minimize the chances of the next baby having the same condition as Kimberly. And then when Kimberly's father finds out, he pays
Deborah to, like,
Kimberly's
scare
aunt
him.
to scare him, but then he ends up dying. And this is just dropped. This information is dropped on the audience in Act 2.
This was
and
actually
again,
comedy to me because
never addressed.
Steph turned to me and was like, well, I didn't see that coming.
This information is dropped like a bomb on the audience, and we never follow up on this.
Well, because we're at, like, a dinner scene, and it's, like, the first time ever that, like, a family member has cooked a home-cooked meal, and this is all Kimberly ever wanted, but then we find out this information, but then it, like, sends her into, like, a cardiac moment, so then she goes to the hospital. Like, a lot happens within, like, 25 seconds of time on stage.
We just never follow up on this situation.
No, we
You're
actually...
supposed to sit with that.
She has the baby at the end.
Yeah. And you're just like... And Kimberly's parents are just like, oh, here's our baby. Remember that bomb you dropped 20 minutes ago? Can we come back to that?
Yeah, it is kind of just like left
really confusing
open,
Act 2.
Ended.
And I love an open-ended show. I'm someone who loves an open-ended show. I love things up for interpretation. I needed a little more than this.
I actually think, like, one of the things that my brothers and I discussed after we saw this was that, like, this could actually be a pretty decent movie. Because you could get more into the in-depth of these characters when a movie gives you more time to play. But yeah, it would be, like, an interesting, like, dysfunctional family story to tell on screen, I think. Drop the music all around. Just, like, have it be a straight movie.
So it was originally a straight play written by David Lindsay-Abaire in the year 2000. And Janine Tesori was the one who approached him and said, hey, I think this sings. Like, I think we could expand this into a musical. And I guess that's up to interpretation. I understand why you would think it would sing. I think there is, like, room for a lot of, like, internal...
Yeah, there's moments, don't get me
thoughts.
wrong. There's few songs that, like, I really like. Again, anything that the kids are doing, love that. I was going to say, I also love, like, we didn't discuss her, but, like, Deborah has, like, 2 big sing moments that are really fun. Better is the one.
Those are the highlights of the show. For me, I was writing down, like, one of my favorite songs, and, like, it's just, like, better, exclamation point. I think that's
when the kids in the background are like, legally blind.
When opportunity knocks.
And that was the standout, I think, song from the show when it premiered on Broadway. Like, that's the role that, like Bonnie Milligan is amazing on that too. So she won the Tony, I think, like, literally for that performance, like, in that song alone. It's a great musical theater song. I would say, like, if we're comparing, like, the Kimberly songs, like, if you were to compare this to another, like, Janine score.
You know, looking at our list that we put together, like, Fun Home, also Janine Tesori.
Yeah.
And that's at the top here.
Actually, maybe there's a little Fun Home in this.
Yeah. I think, like, the idea of, like, a family story. And, like, that's the DNA that, like, Fun Home and Kimberly Akimbo both have. That it's, like, you know, we're kind of getting this, you know, a daughter reckoning with her parents and, like, the life, you know, that they tried to give her their own personal struggles, kind of, like, very general. way.
Yeah, I think it's hard because, like, both the parents don't really have any redeemable qualities.
Right.
They're kind of just
Except her mom's hilarious.
Yeah, her mom's hilarious.
Yeah.
So hilarious that she got pregnant with the neighbor. Like,
Well, okay, this is an extenuating circumstance. Yeah, the dad to me is like pretty
like at the end of the day, they don't care about
terrible.
her at all. Like, at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it's very tragic. When you like really dive into it, it's just like they've already written her off as she's gonna die. And
like,
they
specifically
are already
that scene when they like take her bed out and put the crib in for like the new baby, and they're like, "Oh, she won't care. It's fine. She'll just sleep on the couch." It's like, well, like
she's
you know, she might die.
Her body is
this
70
year.
years old. Like, are 70-year-olds supposed to sleep on the couch? It's not good for her.
That's so true.
Like, yeah, and they, you know, they already have their replacement lined up for when they assume she's gonna die, and yeah, it's so sad. It's tragic. And it is hard to kind of be like, and you know, maybe, I don't know, but it is hard to be like, well, you know, her parents are just doing her best. And, you know, they were teenagers when they had her, and they, you know, this like medical situation that is unlike, you know, anything else. And also probably even though she is 16, she looks like a 70-year-old person, so it must be hard to remember that sometimes. But yeah, they're pretty like heartless in many ways, and don't really they like try to redeem them, but it doesn't. I don't think it lands, the redemption.
No, like even her aunt, who's also, as I said, an insane person, like, she's more redeemable to me as a character because she actually cares for Kimberly in some ways. More than I think
she wants to use her for a check fraud crime.
Yes, but like when she gets sick, like she kind of cares. I don't know. They're all like shitty people at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, okay.
The only like that's Seth.
I think
said,
the actors are all doing a good job. Yes, that's so sweet. But I think like, shout out, where did I put my playbill? I don't know.
Oh, Tess Benger and Cyrus Lane are the parents.
Yeah, Tess Benger, Cyrus Lane. I think they're both like really good in this. Kristen Peace, really good in this, I think. But yeah, I just don't know if the parents or the family characters are given enough there for you as the audience to like invest in them and like understand where they're coming from too.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It was just giving like what Earl and Waitress. You're just like, okay, please leave.
Thanks. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because, again, when I saw this on Broadway, and don't get me wrong, like, I love Tess Benger. I think she's doing a great job in this. But Ali Mazzi played her mom. And during the song Father Time, which I previously used as an obsession because I love that song, I, like, felt way more than I ever felt in this version. Like, I felt nothing here. I had no, like, sympathy for the mother when she was singing this in this. I had nothing. Whereas when Ali Mazzi sang it, I was like, oh, like, I see her struggle in some sense. So, like, I can feel bad for her. She's, like, slightly more redeemable to me, even though the text is the same. Like, nothing has changed between the Broadway production and this production. The text is the exact same. But I just think that, like, Ali Mazzi played it with, like, a little more empathy than Tess played it to me. But I also really liked Tess's insane interpretation.
Yeah. I know. Every time I see her, she's doing something so silly, so kooky.
Yeah,
the physical comedy Tess was giving was so funny.
I was going to say, like, her physicality in every show that we've ever seen her in is, like, what makes her such a standout in a cast. But I didn't get any sort of empathy from this characterization as I kind of did on Broadway. And kind of same thing with the dad. Like, there were moments that I was like, oh, they're having, like, a sweet conversation. I don't know. I feel like maybe the note for Toronto, Montreal was like, no empathy, everybody, please. Like, let's play them as awfully as they're written.
Yeah, is it maybe directed, not more as a comedy, but just like, yeah, like what direction was given? This show, it is meant to like tug at your heartstrings. Like, they want you to leave sobbing. you know?
And like I
I'm
kind
sure
of
many
was in
people
New
did.
York.
Yeah, like, yeah, and what is it maybe about the direction or choices made in this production that did not have that impact? I will say during like the end, like my eyes were welling up. I wasn't like crying, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm unexpectedly like my eyes are feeling the tears are coming, but then I didn't like cry, you know?
Yeah, same. But
So it
that
did like
wasn't the
hit, but didn't hit, you know?
Yeah, maybe this is it. Maybe it is a direction. I never even like, which is so dumb to not think that like direction choice is like so different, because obviously that can like really change the tone
Yes.
that something's presented. But yeah,
Sometimes if like I don't like multiple people's performances, I'm like, okay, what was asked of them? Like how did the director guide them?
this is
and
directed by
what-
Robert McQueen, by the way.
Robert McQueen. What else has
I-
Robert McQueen done?
I think we've seen something else that he's done, but let me pull up
Please.
Robert McQueen. Oh, he did the Jake Epstein show, Boy Falls from the Sky.
Oh. I liked that.
Fun Home, Toronto. Life
I
After.
really liked that. Really liked that.
The Wild Party, Falsettos, Land on the Piazza.
But not the recent Life After, like the original Life Afters in Toronto.
Yes. Carolina Change. Wow, seems like he's a Janine Tesori fan.
He's doing a lot of Janine Tesori here.
He did Reframed here. What else? He's done some shows at Thousand Islands Playhouse. He was the associate director of the Broadway production of Mamma Mia. Interesting.
Wow. Well, that like kind of has Toronto origins a bit, so.
He's a dramaturg and a director of new musicals for the Musical Stage Company. So, like, he's worked here.
Great. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, just like out of
maybe-
curiosity.
Maybe that's the difference. Maybe the difference is the direction. But again, like, at the end of the day, like, it's not bad.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
It's just, like,
something-
not it.
Yeah, it just didn't hit the finish line. It kind of just like petered out right before it crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
Something I really liked randomly was the costumes. I thought the costumes were really good.
Louis Petrie and Levi's overalls, like, we love
Yeah,
to
like
see
the
it.
overalls, but even the ensemble, like the teen ensemble, their costumes I thought were really good. Just like styled really well.
When they get their show choir outfits at the end. Great.
The show choir outfits was funny. But yeah, sometimes sometimes they don't like get what the teens are wearing, and I thought like this was like they like hit what like teenagers are wearing. And the parents, like, I thought the costumes were really good. And especially looking at some pictures of like how Bonnie Milligan, like the wig Bonnie Milligan was wearing on Broadway, and like how Kristen Peace's hair is styled. I don't know if it's a wig or what it is, but it's like just the styling of Deborah, that's her name, so different. And I think I preferred like this.
I think the main like hairstyling for Kimberly on Broadway was like the butterfly clips, like that was in all the like promotional materials, the like choker. Louis Petrie might have been wearing a choker, but we were like a little far to tell if she was wearing a choker. But yes, I do agree, like we were dressing for like 2025 teens, which I feel like we like often have this critique of musicals that take place in high school. I'm thinking of you, Mean Girls, and your wedged sneaker. Like, we don't need that.
What's going on? Sometimes things get like stuck in the era that they were produced in, and then when characters are supposed to look modern, they don't, because they're very like of a very specific year.
Yeah.
Like this is obviously a new production. They had freedom with the costumes and stuff, but I thought they really like nailed like a modern look for everyone.
It's also like Louise Petrie's wig was very good, but it's also so jarring even when I saw it on Broadway, like when she becomes the grandmother, because you're just like, and that's when all of the characters are like, oh, she looks like the age that she is, but specifically like they give her like a very short gray wig. I think the line is that she looks like Barbara Bush. That's what they say. And then just like the outfit, like she has a cane, like it just really kind of like puts into perspective that like this 16-year-old really does look 70.
Yeah. Another song that I liked that I thought did a good job was, what is the song where the other kids are singing about like what they want to do in the future? What's that one called?
Oh, the kids that are singing about what they want to do in the future. Is it not The Inevitable Turn, is it? Wait, what act? What act is it in?
I think Act 1, but I don't remember. Okay, maybe this is a Wikipedia
Yeah, I'm not
here.
sure. I do like Anagram a lot. I know that was the song that kind of like broke out when it was on Broadway, but that's, I think, because Justin Cooley is so adorable in that song. Again, like this guy also was like cute, like sweet. Seth's so sweet and cute. Like he's just a really good kid. I'm trying to think. I do like the finale. I think Great Adventure is good.
Yes.
I think it's a good way to
Yes,
tie
I
that
agree.
all together. And it hits at the button at the very end is a little, emotional tearjerker kind of a button, which I think is nice. It wraps up the story, even though it doesn't wrap up the story because there's so many unfinished plot holes. Someone was actually saying on Reddit, and I wonder what you think.
Sorry,
they
it's
were like
Skater
this.
Planet Reprise.
Oh, it's
In Act
Friday
2.
night.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
Seth-
good.
What they think about what the future holds. Like, I think that is like a good representation of kind of like, and then Kimberly obviously like does not think about this, and that's kind of that's really getting to like the meat of what the show is trying to do, and I thought that was one of the most successful moments of that.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's very catchy.
Even what the Act 1 finale is that this time.
Oh,
That's good also, where
Yeah,
it's
good.
Kimberly's birthday party, her parents are making an effort, there's cake, we're all skating. It's fun.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say is somebody on Reddit was talking about Kimberly Akimbo, not this production, just like the show in general. I think this was from like a few years ago. And they said, because the like second half of the second half kind of goes like off the rails, we're telling bizarre stories towards the end here. Someone was like, when she goes in the hospital, like everything that happens after that, does it actually happen? Or is she like
Interesting.
in a coma, has these visions of like what her life could be? Does she actually make it to Disney World? Does she die like right then and there? And it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting to think about it that way. Unknown.
Sure.
We don't know.
knows?
We actually have no idea what happens. But the person,
Yeah, even the road trip, like, is that real? Is that not real?
Yeah.
Or is
And I
that
was
just
like,
a fantasy?
as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, this person is getting somewhere. But then they were like, it would be so unrealistic for there to be a safari in New Jersey. I'm like, okay, I actually think like you've lost me on that part because, there can be those random safaris anywhere. We have one here in Toronto.
Well, I think that's why that kept hitting in the Toronto audiences, because we're like African Lion Safari, wherever that like we have one
Yeah.
that we've all been to.
I don't know about the like New Jersey version of that, but like if we have one, it's not that unbelievable to me that New Jersey has
I'm
one
sure
as well.
there's a New Jersey one. I'm sure there's a New Jersey one.
But yeah, it is kind of an interesting thought to think about of like, did any of this happen? Did the check fraud actually go through? Did they take the money? Did she, like, why? Because someone was saying, because in the Broadway production, she, like, writes postcards to her parents of this, like, adventure that she has with her and Seth. And then also, as I was saying at the beginning of this episode, the video element, like, they're watching her adventures, like, they're watching them back. To me on Broadway, what that felt like is that she is no longer here.
She's dead,
and
and
Seth has shared these videos as she asked him to with the family so they can like see what the adventure was like. That's what I got out of that.
That's a lot to put on a 16-year-old to go on a road trip with someone who's probably gonna die within the next year.
I also feel like Seth, although like love this character,
sweetie.
I think he is like so underwritten because when he sings that Good Kid song, he like talks about his kind of like dysfunctional family life for a split second, but then we never get into it at all. And
yeah, he's a bit of a caricature of like a dork.
Yes,
like,
but to have like
using shorthand
multiple unfinished storylines in a 2-hour and 30-minute musical is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're just and it's not short. Yeah, they just kind of throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, and it's just like something to ponder for you guys.
Yeah, just like think about this now and take it away later, and then we'll never discuss if it happens or not. So I understand why this Reddit user thought that she was just like in a coma dreaming all of this, because maybe she is.
That's not necessarily a wrong interpretation. Like, that's definitely a possible interpretation.
I think it's pretty...
It wasn't what I took away, but I think definitely a potential interpretation.
I think they felt that way, honestly, because that scene when she's in the hospital, like, we very quickly get up and leave, and she's like totally fine, even though she was just like in the hospital for a couple days. So like I understand where they got that. I also didn't take away from that, but I can understand because we have no context on anything else. And they do like keep telling us that she's going to die. So I think that's like just where the mind goes, is like, oh, maybe she's dead. Maybe this is all like a fantasy. Like, I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, I don't think that's an unrealistic read on it. Should we just
call David Lindsay up?
Hey, David, so when you
wrote...
Did she die?
When you wrote this insane second half of Act 2, like, what did you mean by all of these plot lines? Anything else? Any more remarks?
No, I think, okay, maybe the last thing I'll say is, you know, we talked about the direction, but is this a show that is like very cast reliant? Like, you will feel very different depending on how it's cast. And when that happens, to me, that's like a weakness of the show, in that it can't like survive multiple like interpretations, let's say, or multiple casting changes. And if it's reliant on like one specific performance, how much is the writing and how much is like what that actor is imbuing in the character? And like, is that where we are with Kimberly Akimbo?
I think yes. I think that the cast is specifically for Kimberly. I think it's so important, which is again like the same reference I made of like the Jeremy Jordan Great Gatsby of it all. When a show is written for a specific person, it's so hard. It's like, it's almost... not like exactly, but it is almost setting up every other person for failure, like, for lack of a better term, but like that is kind of what it's doing. It's like, hey, you can't hit the notes the same way that Victoria Clark can, so like you'll just struggle through it, and that's what people will see. And I don't think that that's necessarily fair, but I do think that that's kind of the direction that we've been going in kind of recently in these new like modern musicals, is like writing things specifically for certain people, and then everybody else is just kind of like left to try and mimic this. And I don't think that that's 100% fair. I also referenced off the mic, but like Carolee Carmello did this on tour for the first round of the national tour, and like she's also someone that has like an insane, incredible voice. I would actually probably say that she's a really good replacement for Victoria Clark. Who was the... do we know who the understudy standby was on Broadway? Was it a name?
I don't remember who it was.
But I just remember when like Carolee Carmello was announced, we were like, oh, this makes perfect sense to me. But also like, I don't know, flashback to us maybe like 8 months ago and us saying like Louise Petrie is exactly who we thought would play this, but it...
yeah. Like 2 years ago, I think I sent a message. I was like, Louise Petrie as Kimberly Akimbo.
Yeah, and then we've been talking about it since the casting, that we were like, oh, I don't think there's anybody else in Toronto that could do it, and it turns out it's not exactly what we pictured it to be. I don't know. I agree that, like, is that a flaw of the musical, that it's cast-based? Like, yeah, I actually think it is. But I do think that, unfortunately, that is, like, the direction that we keep going in with these modern musicals these days, is that it's, like, written for one person and one person only, and we need to stop doing that, everybody.
Yeah. I think a show shows its strengths when it survives, you know, multiple directors, multiple casts, just different interpretations and different settings, and when it can withstand all of that. Obviously there are things like that, you know, will make something more or less successful, but I think the true mark of a great show is that, you know, it's really like open to different interpretations. So yeah, that's kind of where I land, I guess, on Kimberly Akimbo.
Should we rate it?
I know, this is hard. This is really hard.
Our first rating of the year.
This is really hard. I am going to give it 6 out of 10, like, Mickey Mouse, like, hats. If I'd remembered, I would have found mine, because I have, like, a black one exactly like they were in the show from when I was, like, 4.
I don't have a black one, but I definitely don't have it here, but I did get a pink one when I went, when I was, like...
Wow.
7, 8? I can't remember exactly. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. I'm gonna use the metric that is what they used on Broadway, and we didn't reference it at all, but that's the candy necklace. That was a huge, like, symbolism on Broadway. Like, I'm pretty sure the program that I have is, like, Kimberly's, it's like a drawing of her neck, and she's wearing the candy necklace, but here we just have, you know, the rainbow with the stars, which I think is the secondary logo. But
yeah,
the candy necklace was, like, pretty heavily
I remember that
themed
now.
For Broadway.
Huh.
I think it's something that she eats when she's at the skate park, but we did not focus on that at all in this production.
Right.
But I kind of remember, like, Seth, like, giving that to her when she's at the skate park. And she wears it. And I think she eats from it during Anagram. I think I'm, like, having memories right now of, like, the production that I saw years ago.
It's all coming back.
It's all coming back.
It's all coming back.
But yeah. And I can't even tell you to go see this because you can't. It's closed in Toronto now. But again, as I said at the beginning of this episode, it is touring the U.S. So if it is coming to a city, it might be coming to a city near you if you're listening to us from the States right now. So, or if you're in London, it's about to be in the West End, and you can, or I don't know if it's on the West End, but in London. So you might be able to see that.
It's off West End, I believe. Yeah.
Anyway, that's our thoughts on Kimberly Akimbo, and now it's time for our obsession of the week. This is a joint obsession for us this week, because we're kind of just going to recap the month of January because we took January off. So we
a little theater recap.
A few things. January
on top of
with,
Kimberly Akimbo.
On top of Kimberly Akimbo, January started off with us seeing a production of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Did it ever?
Did not love this, gotta say.
No.
Really did not love this.
This is a no for me. It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I just turned to Steph so many times during this show being like, what are we doing right now? Like, what are we watching? It was kind of insane. And, like, not in a good way.
Yeah, I did not have a good time at this at all. What was... So many things.
You know what was, like, so impressive, though? The prosthetic. So impressed with that.
Yes. I did not expect how many times he would change in and out of the Doubtfire look, like, in front of you on stage. Just, like, strip down to boxers, put on the mask, put on the, like, padding and dress. That was shocking to me.
It's 2 pieces. One is, like, a wig piece, and then there's also, like, the neck piece, but, like, so impressed with that. That was probably the highlight of the show to me.
That was really cool. Beyond that, I did not enjoy this. I did not really like the music.
We also saw an understudy, and that's not to say that, like, that man wasn't giving his life on stage because he was sweating.
He was doing a good job. It just...
The material that he was there for was not
This is something that is very cast dependent. Like, the charm of Robin Williams was needed here.
100%.
Like, a random criticism, but, like, why was every woman in this show just, like, an unpleasant shrew? Like every female character, from, like, the, like, social worker, the woman who worked at the network, the ex-wife, like, every single one of them was, like, a stick in the mud. It's so annoying.
I mean...
He was the loser.
Like, this is kind of how we felt in Something Rotten, and it's the same team. Like, the 2 female characters in Something Rotten are, like, the worst. Why? Same team.
Wow.
So what does that say about them? No, it is true, and we also were so, like, beside ourselves, and I know that this happens in the movie, too, but, like, at the end, when, like, everything kind of just, like, wraps up in a nice bow, and we're like, but he was still a bad dad. So, like, why are we just, like...
He loved his kids, but he was the worst husband ever.
And the worst father.
And a bad father. Like, okay, whatever. Okay, moving on. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Prosthetics, 10 out of 10, though. Prosthetics
that was crazy. The chain, the costume chains, that was good.
Amazing.
Then we saw
Company,
which was a Talk is Free. We'd never seen a Talk is Free show before. The true story with this is there was, like, sort of a snowstorm that day, and
as there is currently as we're recording.
We like 10 times worse than that one. And my car got stuck in the snow on the way to this show, and so I ended up being 20 minutes late for a show. And I'm
Which,
so
have
sorry
you
for
ever
every
done
single
that?
person. No. No, the only, and I had to be held at the door until like half an hour into the show.
But you knew what was happening.
I knew it was happening basically because they didn't want to let me in, which is fully understandable, especially with the way that where the door was positioned in the show. So they were waiting till an applause break to let me in. But after the opening number of Company, there's like a long scene until a song. So I had to wait for that scene to happen, which is like the jujitsu kind of like comedy scene. Then I had to wait for the song, which is Little Things You Do Together, and then so I entered in the applause at Little Things You Do Together, which was about like 8:30, and it started at 8.
This was playing at the theater center.
At the theater center.
We'd never been there before, and
never been.
I would love to go there in the summer because they have like an outdoor patio there. It looks like a really like cute little place. Obviously, in the snowstorm, we couldn't see any of this, but we did see the cute restaurant that was attached to it, like inside.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
followed
like
them on TikTok.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
It's an interesting space, and it's like another downtown theater that we've never been to before. So that was fun.
Yeah, and yes, I love Company. Company is probably one of my favorite musical, and I do think Company is something that like does withstand, you know, many things. But I don't know if like this was like the peak production of Company.
Honestly, like what it made me think, which we said, is that like watching this, to me, the superior version is the gender bend. Like it just makes it so much, the stakes are just so much higher.
I do think in 2026, especially like as a woman watching it, it just makes so much sense that people are hounding a 35-year-old woman over getting married, and that she is really thinking a lot about it as well, more than a man. But then again, I've never been a man, so who knows? But I think especially in like the 2020s, or like I think it started in 2018 was the original production on the West End. Mm-hmm. That is truly addressing it in like a modern way. But you know, to be honest, as like the first piano notes of Being Alive started, and I started to cry. So
I know, I saw you.
That's where I was at. You saw me.
I was like in this production stuff, but yeah.
I just that song like gets me every time. I cannot.
I'm trying to pull up very quickly before we move on to the next thing. Yeah, because I do want to shout out. Where is this? I like cannot find a cast, but like I only know him as
No programs.
No programs. Oh wait, I found it. Hang on. Got it. Okay, scrolling. Okay, I want to shout out Richard Lamb and Kristen Russell, who played David and Jenny, because they were my favorite couple. I thought they were so good. Like so good.
I think that vignette was like the strongest vignette of
Jenny
the whole show.
Specifically, like she if you watched her in any other scene, like acting to the back of the room of this very small theater, like loved her. But to me, those two were like such a standout in the entire cast.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I really agree. I thought they were the best. Like again, like it's a tricky show. It's like a bunch of like little vignettes with songs. It's really just it's making you think. We're not giving like an overarching narrative. And yeah, I thought that was some of the best stuff. Like a criticism is, I thought the choreography was so bad. I really disliked whatever the choreographer was doing.
We won't give a shout out to them.
No, what was the song that the three girlfriends sang?
Oh, Drive a Person Crazy.
Yeah, Drive a Person Crazy. Oh, that was painful to me. That was the most painful moment of the show.
Yeah,
to me.
Agree.
So yeah, that's that, I guess.
That was that. And then we moved on to, which I don't know if it will still be open by the time this episode is released, because I don't quite know when this episode is released. But regardless, we finally, after 7 years of doing this podcast, because we've talked about doing it before, but we've never done it.
We're like, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year.
But we finally made our way to the opera. Shout out to my friend Amy, who is part of the Wham! Wigs and makeup team at the Canadian Opera Company. She was working there. They were given like friends and family tickets to dress rehearsal, and we got to see Rigoletto. And like, I definitely have notes on the opera, but I also was kind of obsessed with it. Like, I just
it was
kind
not
of
what I
obsessed.
expected at all. It was significantly more staged than I thought it would be. I really thought
I
it would
agree
be
with that.
very
Just
Park
singing.
and Bark.
Yes.
I thought they would come to the front of the stage and sing. But there was like 50 people on stage at certain moments.
I'm
The
sorry,
stage
but
is
like
massive.
the Canadian Opera Company has budget. We had a lit
budget.
fireplace on stage the entire night, and I was obsessed with it.
The word that I kept thinking as we were watching this was craftsmanship. The
I was going to say rich.
Rich. But the craftsmanship that went into the wood paneling, the floor, the carpets, the couch, the painting, something that they did so beautifully was the lighting of that door that they would open at the back, and then it would like spotlight and like silhouette some of the characters. Crazy.
No, it was like truly, like it was iconic. Like after seeing this, was like, should we go back? Like I would see something else because I was like kind of obsessed with it.
Yeah.
It was far too long, but also maybe like it was invited dress. So I wonder if like, you know, like the in-between
when we're run long a little bit.
Yeah, did that run long? Like when we're changing sets, did that one run long? Even though like it should run long because they're doing insane things in the dark on stage, like wild. But I just also need to say that like these people, which we were warned at the beginning of the show that they might market because it's a dress rehearsal. The vocals,
not really.
The vocal projection, they're not wearing microphones.
Not mic'd.
These people are not mic'd. And we were at the back of the Four Seasons.
It was at the Four Seasons where we've been before to see the ballet. I've been many times. We were in Ring 5, which is up at that top. Clear as a bell, the whole thing.
Crystal clear. The Duke, Rigoletto, and the daughter, icons, all three of them.
Yeah.
I don't even have like a thing because we don't have like a program because it was invited dress.
No, it was a PDF again, QR code.
Because I was messaging with my friend who works there, and she was saying that they get the makeup and wig department gets called post orgy to put the ladies back together, and I was like, wait, there was an orgy? Like I don't know that I saw that.
We did see the orgy. That was near the end. Like before, like the final set change. But yes.
Was that when like he was hanging?
Yeah, and everyone was kind of like falling off the chairs.
Was stunning.
And taking their clothes off. Yeah.
Stunning. They had these like beautiful lights that were like framing the rugs. I like literally go see the opera. If you've never seen the opera, like go. And also for anyone that's wondering, because like I didn't know, and then my friend who actually studied opera for many years was asking because he's never been, which I was like crazy that he's never been to the Canadian Opera Company.
Wow.
But like he asked how the titles were displayed. Mm-hmm. So at the Canadian Opera Company specifically, it's kind of like a little, what would you call that? Like baby screen almost that has subtitles
it's on
in
top
English
of the stage.
And in French.
And
he was telling me that in New York, when you see it, at your seat, there's a little thing that comes up so it's right in front of you.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I think where the subtitles really worked for us in Ring 5 because it was kind of in our eye line.
Yeah, it was great.
So I feel like I could see
missing
both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if it was like right in front of you, if you would feel like you'd have to like, or if you were even in a different spot in this theater, if you'd like be like really looking up for the subtitles, but where we were in Ring 5, it was like a perfect view of the subtitles and being able to see the stage.
The other like set that I was like completely obsessed with, even though I think the show could have ended 18 times before that, but when the daughter dies, spoiler for Rigoletto, when he finds her, it's the bare set and she's covered in the sheet, and then he opens it and the rose petals.
Yes,
stunning.
Which is like a callback from earlier.
Stunning.
So good.
So
good.
Beautiful. Like really good stuff. I never thought that I would like speak so passionately about the opera like in my life, but like I would go again. So like Amy,
it was a visual feast.
If you're working on another opera, like I'm ready to return.
Call us.
Because it's just like interesting and it's so different and so theatrical. Like it's so beyond theatrical, which I just like, as you said, didn't quite expect. I expected, same as you, of just like, oh, we're going to stand at the front of the stage and sing so beautifully. Yes. But no, we are serving theatrics to the back of Ring 5.
Yeah, obsessed. I'd be curious to see like more operas, different operas, just to have that variety and to know like what is the usual mode, or if this is like this specific production, Yeah, I'm really curious.
And also, like, the talent of these performers is, like, really insane. The voice projection specifically is so incredibly impressive. I know they, like, work their entire lives for this, but, like, it really is, like, so impressive to see that. So, yeah, and then, like, to finish out my January, I saw Anne Juliet yesterday, so I'll just say that. Oh, my God, someone messaged us on Instagram. Wait.
Eye of the tiger. Oh, I didn't see this.
Someone messaged us yesterday, like, commenting on, like, the story that I posted saying, because of you girls, I'm not ashamed to say that I have a monthly appointment with Juliet, sometimes twice a month.
Oh. Wow.
Never feel shame for that. Never feel shame.
No, never feel shame. I haven't made my January pilgrimage, so
and
we'll
I don't
see.
think that you will, because it's January 25th when we're recording this.
Oh, wow. I know. I'd have to go this week. Yeah, probably not, because Bridgerton does come out this week, and that's really important to me.
And we're going to the ball, which maybe you'll hear about in a future episode if it's theatrical.
Maybe. Maybe. Julian just said that the gloves are going to arrive on Friday, and so I need to figure something out.
Okay, well...
I should have ordered them 2 days ago.
Yes. We'll figure that out. But I guess that's where we should end this episode, because now the gloves are important mission for this week.
I know, I need to start working on that.
Yeah.
But what if I need to leave the house tomorrow? Where do you buy gloves in person?
I would say someone let us know, but we will have already attended the ball by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, so we kind of saw, like, very different things in the month of January. That was to kick off, you know,
it was a great January.
Great January.
Sometimes January, nothing happens, and this was a good January.
Yeah, so excited about that, and yeah, we will be, you know, the Mirvish season is in full gear as we are recording this episode, but I do think our next show right now on paper is Some Like It Hot, so that will definitely be a review that you can look out for. But yeah, that is our obsession of the week. That's our thoughts on Kimberly Akimbo, and that's it for this episode. So if you want to go back and listen to any of our other episodes, you can do that by subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe there and leave us a comment.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Off2BOA Podcast with the number 2, and on TikTok at Off to Broadway. Leave us a comment.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.